West Philly. Where is that? Hey, yo! Hey, Dio, I see you, must don't understand. I'm from West Philly.
Coming from the bottom.
They don't want no problems. They don't want no problems. Cause I won't stop. Cause I won't stop. Cause I won't stop.
So I reach the top, set up ready from the bottom. What's up with everybody? How y'all doing today? Glad to see everybody is, out here tonight, man, in good spirits and all that. Listen, I'm going to be touching on a lot of subjects tonight, man, so, bear with me, you know what I'm saying? The first thing I would like to get into, if y'all didn't know, not that long ago, they had a versus, you know what I mean? Motivated 215, I think, through it. They had a lot of dope artists there. They had Cheek Raw there, Creed Forge, Santos, a lot of different people, Shady Black. It just was a melting pot of the culture, and I think it was a good thing for the city. I ended up getting into, a competitive little situation with Hollow Man, and years ago, me and Hollow Man made history together, being in the Philadelphia Weekly with his squad of paper chasers and me, the front page of the Philadelphia Weekly, the 6-page article. Shout out to Larry Club, Flow the Concrete Gymnasium of Hip Hop. Definitely, it was a historical time, and at that time, the internet wasn't really what it was, and the record labels was coming down, and people got good looks. Me and Hollow Man battle. He had the belt. I ended up getting a decision of winning, and he put the belt around my waist, and I appreciated him for that. With that being said, the night that they threw the verses, the motivated 215 through that verses joint, I heard it was a really good joint, and there was some cameramen outside. Shout out to Tice Combs, and he basically. The motivated 215 called Hollow Man on the stage. Hollow Man said who he needs to bully with this rap stuff. Hollow's a dope artist, and I feel like he's a very, very great MC. And I like everything about his whole charisma, his style, and everything. With that being said, when my name was mentioned to Hollow Man, the first thing that he did was flag and walk away. And I'm not gonna lie, as an artist and as a friend, it kind of like hurt my feelings because I feel like things like that of that nature are some of the reasons why people downplay how good I really am. You know what I mean? And how decorated I really am. A lot of you might not know me because y'all might have been a little younger. But for 30-some years, I've been winning titles consistently and being relevant consistently in all different types of fashion, whether throwing shows, whether being on a show, whether rapping, whether doing podcasts, whether doing music, whether dropping albums, whether doing videos, as far as being on TV, front page of papers, being in historical DVDs that people emulated to this time now. Too Raw for the Streets. Shout out to my old head EA, definitely, for holding me down from back to the basics and just saying his real true opinion and saying that he thinks that I'm, top 5 in the city. And a lot of times people don't like to mention me because of my passion, and they took passion and misunderstood it for aggression. So with that being said, Hollow Man was saying who he got a bully or whatever, and then he did the flagging thing. So I felt that it was an opportunity for me to remind people why I should be in the top 5. And to this point, me being on, Lido's Takeover Files reaching 90,000 views, higher than that, and stuff like that of that nature, I would feel that that should make me relevant since it's the youth doing it and that I've been on it. So, with that being up and on YouTube and people seeing the skill factor and the level, they still in denial. I had battled Hollow Man before, and he used his written, and I used freestyle, and I still won. That means I'm a very skillful person at the craft of doing either battle or music. You know what I mean? And me and my man Just made a big impact at Club Flow. We had an album out called Beautiful Hood Music. Just made all the beats. I freestyled the whole album, and it was a dope ass album, and it went around a lot. Like, you know what I mean? They got me up there at the Electric Factory performing with G Unit and different people like that, and it got me in a lot of buildings. You know what I mean? Meeting the people that helped sign Nas and a lot of other things. You know what I mean? And that was a great time for me. But what I mean by the flagging and the walking away, if you're a person that people look at as a person of like interest, like that people look at as a star, if you don't acknowledge another person like he's a star, then people are going to downplay it and play it like I'm not on levels. And I feel as though that we've become too grown as men and too far to downplay each other's skill factor. Because if a person would have asked me about Hollow Man, I'd have been like, Hollow Man's a very dope artist. We made history together. He's a good Muslim. He's a friend. And in the future, I would like to do music with him because I think he's worthy of that. I wouldn't have flagged him. I wouldn't have walked away. I wouldn't have did none of that. Yes, at the end, he did give me flowers, and I appreciated him. Shady did. Santos was there. I appreciated all the flowers. But my thing was, I was expecting that to be the thing that you led with because I think that's what Thurl is. I would never downplay his talent. But for some odd reason, I don't know, because of the past or whatever, he did it to me. And then when I decided to say, listen, I got people that'll put up money or whatever, we could do it. We can have a versus, a good show and make a hell of a statement in the city. I thought that we could do that. And instead of doing that, he transformed it and turned me into seeming like I'm a hater and a person that don't like his stature. Now, we're going to keep this a being. I watched Hollow Man battle. He battled Enos, and then most of his fame came from that. As of lately, he came out of retirement, or I didn't know if he was still doing music. And he battled Had Ice, and then he went at Arsenal. And I think in both of those joints, he did great. But like I said, in this time of day with Smack URL and all that, it's more like an organized thing, and it's more like WWF wrestling setup type way. When I was doing battle rapping, we literally could have died. We was going state to state, and our life was on the line, and I had young boys, and I had to protect them. And we made history together because I made sure that wherever we went at, they know I ain't give a fuck. I was bringing the heart of Philly, and I was carrying the youngers like an aircraft carrier. We going to bomb on everything. And we did that. And shout out to Reed Dollars, Frankie Grippers, all the people, Eddie Morris, Rain Man, Cicero, everybody that was on that DVD era, Quilly, all the dope people. I love y'all, and I think that all of you deserve to have a chance at being stars and stardom. I think that the politics of Philadelphia stagnates us. And a lot of people say it's a lot of different stuff. But no, I really feel like the city has been ran by old bosses that's very greedy. And I don't really think they care about the culture. Most of the people that's doing the culture were not people that were of the culture. Like people like EST not throwing stuff in the city. People like Schoolie D who invented gangster rap from West Philly, shout out to Parkside, is not really throwing shows. If they do shows for themselves, but they're not really doing the things that need to be done in the city for us to captivate and fill the culture as needed. Instead, it's a lot of people that, use whatever Brody tactics or whatever they do And I think that it stagnates the city because a lot of people not making no money. If you look at it, you see people in regular cars, and the people that really got outside of it, they the people that's driving the Maybachs, but it's very few. You know what I mean? And I just felt as though that, the whole thing got drug out of proportion because the fact that I don't think people liked it, that people were rooting for me. And a lot of people really do feel like I'm the champ of the people, the underdogs, because I stayed consistent, but I didn't follow any agendas, and I stayed independent, and I choose to stay that way, not because I can't have it, though, because if I get it out the mud, I'm going to get it out the gravel, because I feel like a lot of artists from Philadelphia, they got signed and they had fame, but it didn't end right. Like, I feel like when other people come to our city and give us record deals, that gives them the right to big brother us as they city seeming like we needed them or we needed the handout. And that takes the power away from the artists in Philadelphia. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion. I'd rather do it independent and build something from Philadelphia and build an infrastructure for children in Philadelphia to be able to feel like celebrities and have deal situations without having to go outside of their city. With that being said, a lot of people that run the city are blocking people, gatekeeping, and stopping people from getting places. And people act like it's not happening, but that's what the devil's greatest trick is, making you think he don't exist. And with that being said, with all the gatekeeping, it limits the money and it limits the stars. And what happened to stars when they don't get to shine? They die out, and they die in these streets. Uh, Nowadays, the kids think that they gotta damn near be bloods or gotta be whatever and gotta kill just to get a record deal, literally, and that's crazy. As far as me and the Hollow Man situation, I did try to do a versus with him. He didn't want to do it, and everybody else made a spectacle of it. And because I'm passionate, people made it seem like I was going in my bag. But I'm not a negative person. If anybody really know me, they know that I love the youth, I love the streets, and I love people. You know what I mean? Only time I get negative, or if that's from my enemies, and trust me, if it's my enemies, you will never see that. Nobody knows that. And if my people do know about me with my enemies, they know that I don't look over shoulders. I just get right to shit. You know what I mean? And that ain't being tough. That's just the way that I was raised. Uh, I feel like a lot of people bias when it come to me, and I feel like a lot of people misunderstand me, and they misunderstand and take away from liking my talent. I think that I'm very, 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 very underrated to be so decorated. And I feel like it's definitely some people that was in power that definitely played a major part in blackballing me. And I think other people feel that too, because the first thing they say is, "You're so good, why you here with us?" But at the same time, they need to understand that I don't mind being with y'all. I don't mind being amongst the people. I'm not scared of nothing out here. I'm a lion. I've been roaming these jungles for a long time. And it just is what it is. Me know who I am. Reed know who I am. Any other artist really know who I am. I'm your favorite rapper, favorite rapper, favorite rapper. And I got a lot of body of music. I got a lot of videos. I got a lot of stuff out. I just think people not paying attention. And my numbers is good. And mines are real organic numbers, not fluff numbers, not paid for numbers, and not a whole bunch of gimmicks. You know what I mean? I don't have a whole lot of gimmicks. I don't have any. If my gimmick is something is being the realest nigga around, 'cause that's what I take pride in. I see a lot of niggas trying to deteriorate my character, and it is really unwarranted to think that, like, yo, you people that so-called call yourself real hate a person for being real. And I think that's a lot going on in Philadelphia. Before you start saying you real, you need to know what the definition of it is. You know what I mean? And a lot of you dudes like make it seem like everybody else the problem because y'all don't take no accountability for yourself. Look into yourself and see why you act like you act before you start judging me as an alpha male. And with that being said, off of that, you know what I mean? I guess it's not going to be a versus because my folks that offer money and people turned it down. So, at this point, it's like, yo, if you don't even want it to be seen with money being involved, you just really much just don't want it to be seen as an artist. So, I got, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But don't ever say, I can't mess with your catalog and I can't do this. I got a catalog so extensive, it's 30 years straight. You can't tell me about extensive catalogs. You can't tell me about being real, and you can't tell me about making an impact. I did shit 30 years ago, and I still see people grabbing people by their shirt. Who you think invented that? Me. I created the will of that. Reading them was like pitch. I grabbed them by their shirts because we was from Philadelphia, and we was fucking hungry. And we showed the world. Even Eminem put it on Rap God. That's something else for y'all to hate. But besides that, I don't worry about it. I got a well-oiled machine team. That's why you see me doing podcasts that's being ran from Colombia. You see me doing videos crisp and clear with our cars, our videos, our clothes. Not no rinky dink stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I take pride in that. My company is called BBI, meaning Big Business Incorporated internationally. And you know what I mean? Definitely Black Bottom Incorporated internationally. You know what I mean? Because I'm from the home of Black Brother Inc. You know what I mean? If you don't know your history, you would know that. You know what I mean? This the home of the Black Mafia and the Italian Mafia. Skinny Joey all the way to Sam Christian to motherfucking Noonie Nims. You know what I mean? So, it's also a historical place where a lot of special people come from, a lot of singers and basketball players like Hank Gathers and different stuff of that. Like, of that nature. It's a melting pot of culture, a melting pot of talent, but nobody really gets to see it because we do self-sabotage. A lot of people out here be like, yo, man, we trying to do unity, we trying to do this, we trying to do that. But really, you're just trying to use other people to help you bubble because you don't have no talent or have no glow. And then after that, I see a lot of people that had situations. They wasn't asking Philly artists to come up here. They would deserve to have a major deal. I think that Tor needs to have a major deal. I think Core is definitely doing this thing. I think Santos needs a deal. I think Quilly Mills needs a deal. I think Joey. You know what I mean? I just think that it's a lot of artists that just never really got their shot, you know what I mean? Including like females like Nina Ross and different people that I really admire their craft, man. I mean, and art is ageless, you know what I'm saying? It's like a Mona Lisa portrait, you know what I mean? You put it on a wall, it's a beautiful painting, but it's worth something. And I feel the same thing when it comes to these Philadelphia artists with their audio art, and I think that they're judged by so many other things because of negative people not being able to do what they can do and just find a way to shatter them and destroy them and break them down until they basically just don't even be hungry no more because they're giving up the whole special clip that they have of music and they doing it and they giving it out and Cosmic Cavs doing this and this, that, they doing this. And then it's so easy to burn out because Philly people either want to use you, opportunists don't like when you don't do stuff for them, or it's just like a lot of hatred and it's really bad in the city. We need a whole new infrastructure. So, I don't want to be down. I got a new project coming out called Man vs. the Machine. I produced the tracks. I wrote all the music. And it'll be out soon, very, very soon. And I hope you really enjoy it. But at the same time, I'm doing this because people talking about doing songs and sitting and, people doing songs and doing one verse is like, when you play with me, I drop a whole album on you. At any given time, at any given moment. I don't even need to write. Like, I can sit around and rap about everything that's going on around me and turn it into music because that's what Allah blessed me with. And that's just me. And whether you want to believe it, whether you don't want to believe it, whether you want to hate, whether you want to downplay it, if you do your history through the internet, you will see half my life is on there. And you will be able to see me at great, great moments. You will see me at passionate moments. You'll see me on real moments. You'll see fights. You're going to see everything. It's on there. You know what I mean? And I do this for the have-nots, man. I do this for the children in poverty, man. The kids that come from nothing. You know what I mean? As a youth, man, I was abused. I was everything. If you don't like, I had to sleep in cold basements. You know what I mean? Dealing with real life drug addiction. You know what I mean? Dealing with getting knocked the fuck out by my mom and uncles and motherfuckers hog spitting in my face like just because I reminded them of my father. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a lot that come with that. I know about my mom dying in my arms. I know about a son getting murdered, man. I know about kids with manic depression, schizophrenia, motherfucking kids with autism, a son fighting a body right now, and a daughter that just came home from a body. Like that's the type of stuff that I deal with and I walk with every day. So when people start judging me and think because old head and all this, you see a little bit of gray and you want to judge a nigga, man, you have no idea what I went through in life to get to these grades. You know what I mean? So you trying to play me because a law let me live or a law let me age, and you feel because you young and you deserve to walk in my shoes, but ain't earn it, and then you want to use the age thing to try to play a game to try to downplay a person's talent because of their age. To me, it's very, very, very unmasculine. You know what I mean? And it's very, very haterish. And any people that participate in it, I really think y'all just suck ass niggas. So I mean, it is what it is. But if that's what you're doing, you know what I mean, worrying about men's age, you might as well worry about his dick too. Because that's the same shit you're doing when you're worrying about how he look or what his age is and all that. But I could tell a lot of you little niggas, I mean, was raised by your mom, so you don't know when you emotionally distort. And, you know what I mean, you don't understand because a lot of men not in the house, you know what I'm saying? So I understand where y'all come up short with that. Just like a lot of old niggas do be hating on YNs because them YNs, but that's because you was an old nigga that was always a hater. I don't gotta hate on no young boys because I'm comfortable in my own skin. You know what I mean? I'm not lying to you when I tell you I got a nice house. I live middle class. I got a beautiful young wife, and that I got a Chinese dog, and I got beautiful kids. And I'm like really happy that I came to that in life because I could have died so many nights. And my young boys know this. And I see people, I see young boys, they pop little perks being they join like, oh, you was doing that over here. And they be feeling like because they could grab a gun and take a life that they somebody. No. In my life growing up, you had to be able to do all that. You had to be able to go to jail, keep your mouth shut. You had to be able to bust your gun when you needed to. And when you ain't have a gun, you need to know how to rumble. I'm talking about at the best at a high level. So if you wasn't doing all three, you wasn't really considered a canon or like a real nigga. So, I done been stabbed in my neck, all that, man. Like, I know about war, scars. I have real enemies that wasn't pussies. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas nowadays, y'all grab a gun, y'all run around the block with an automatic gun that got a lot of bullets, spray up and hit everything but the person you're supposed to kill, and then try to keep score on it after you shoot little babies and all that shit and think you thorough. Think all y'all should burn. Fuck is wrong with you? That ain't the Muslim way, and that ain't. But with that being said, at the end of the day, I gotta also look at the side of my young boys that do the same shit. So, at the end of the day, man, it's just a problem amongst the youth, and there really ain't nobody here to really make it better for them. And that's even sadder when you think about these kids, because when you be like, yo, fuck these YNs, you're really saying fuck the future. And that's fucked up. And when y'all young boys are saying fuck the old heads, y'all cutting yourself short from learning and gaining wisdom. The only way you're going to get that is by living, to go through it, being battle tested, to be able to give the wisdom out to somebody to help them become better. But y'all want to know that because y'all too busy living in your young life, letting social media and phones guide you like parents. So you think life a video game. You think it's GT, Call of Duty, and all that until it's happening to you. And then, it's the same old cycle. And then the Commonwealth whitewash grab you up, and then they make you do life, and now you're a slave again. People think that slavery over. It's not. They just made the plantation bigger, and they figured out how to make you a slave in your mind. So now you young boys is becoming serial killers doing the KKK job. Speaking of that, I don't know if everybody paying attention, but on social media, there's a lot of socialites, social media stars and people, and dying. There's a lot of people dying, and in the midst of it, I'm realizing that there's a race war going on under it, and I think that that's a lot of ways, in the way that racism is being like cool, because even with the thing with ICE and what they doing and how they killing these people or doing certain stuff, you know, I think that, you know, it's always levels to things. And at that level right now, we're damn near feeling like that's damn near like a dictatorship. And I've noticed that a few black children have died. The one black child that died with the Caucasian friends on the boat, the college girl who got hung, and the young boy who ran to the district, to another police district, and tried to get some help when the white people was calling him racist slurs and chasing him. Then they ended up finding his body parts scattered out and his dick cutting it off and putting in his mouth. And y'all gonna say that an animal did it? I mean, like, how long you gonna play with people intelligence? And then you people need to realize, just like that time when that guy was fighting and he threw the hat up like the Batman symbol, and people were so enraged they jumped from boats and swam just to get over there and get a piece of that action. That's because through generational feelings, not even maybe knowing, or maybe not even knowing everything about slavery, they know everything about racism is wrong. And people are not the same. They're not going to go for you raping our family, you raping our daughters, you hanging us, burning us, castrating us. That's not going on in this day and age. Motherfuckers is gonna go out on their shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, you Karens and all you racist people, you need to be mindful of that. But I'm gonna tell you something. If y'all looking at social media and you're looking at all of these people in fields, which is mostly Caucasians because they're the ones who own the land that was took from black people or whatever else to sit back and go hunting and do whatever they want to do. Because y'all don't take accountability, so I might as well just tell what's really the real shit. And these people are out here with all these automatic guns, shooting stuff and shooting at it. And then you think about it, if we both know our history, who are they preparing those guns for? They're using those automatic weapons to kill deers? 300 shotguns to the barrel melt? Who do you think they laughing about thinking about using that on? When y'all looking at social media, looking at us fight each other and giving it all them likes and pages, getting rich off of black people negativity, you're not paying attention to the people that's racist, that's over here with 300 shotguns man, on the barrel, preparing to purge and kill us. They got lab meat now. They say that Bill Gates put up some lab meat that the FDA approved. The FDA approved it. And the crazy part about it is they said it's going to be in Kentucky Fried Chicken and Taco Bell. And really, where is that at? And where like those are all around in poverty. And what is that food going to do? Create us to not populate, make us have cancer and die. And you know, if your people don't believe that it's agenda of mass depopulation, like you know what I mean, that they're trying to do, you need to look at how much they push the agenda of, you know, cutting your penis off or, you know, not loving the body that God gave you and just doing all this stuff to yourself. And then people to a point where the women don't even like men and the men don't like women and they trying to make that a way of life for everybody. And I mean, how are people going to, where the love at and how people going to populate and do that? Because a man can't have a baby from another man. Like, I mean, that's weird. Like, you know what I mean? A woman can't, you know, that's just not the way that works. So, you know, with that being said, with that all that going on, men not liking the men, I mean men not liking the women and the women not liking the men and the food and the cancer and the COVID and all the depopulation stuff. When y'all gonna wake up? When you gonna open your eyes and realize that even when you think you're free, fighting an invisible war, and it ain't even just racism, it's just people that worship money. And when you worship money, you really worshiping the root of all evil. That's where these people like Epstein come from, who have islands and kidnap little babies, and won't know what the fuck they eat on their plate. Uh, it's just really crazy, man. You know what I mean? You know, I realize that a lot of people that I looked at as beautiful people that made it through a crazy struggle or whatever really ain't nothing but sellouts. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's like that's what's cool about. You know what I mean? Maybe the price got cheaper for selling your soul because it seemed like more people doing it more and 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 more. And it seems like when people become leaders or when they try to become leaders, they don't get to exist in life no more. And that's just fucked up because to me, everybody said that Theo drowned, but I don't believe that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same effect of what happened like when Omar Gaddafi spoke up or when other people speak up. You know what I mean? They make them into terrorists. They make them into people that's weird. They make them, if you're telling the truth, you're a hater and you just such. But, you know, the proof is in the pudding. That's like, you know, if you was out partying with Diddy and you really was partying with Diddy, you know what Diddy parties consist of. Pink, cocaine, ecstasy, men getting banged and women getting banged, and it's just a whole illustrious Babylonian situation like Sodom and Gomorrah with diamonds around and designer clothes, and people trying to act like now that it's exposed, y'all wasn't a part of it. You could go ahead and lie to everybody else, man. I, I guess it's a shame that when a person got money, they could just say something and do shit, and everybody follows suit instead of being real because they want that handout. That's clown shit, man. That's why I'm not signed. That's why I'm not a part. I don't party with people that party with the devil. Yeah, man. That ain't my type of scenario. You know what I mean? Not at all. Yeah. Motherfuckers gotta stop being weak, man. Think about this. If a person would have killed Elvis, right? What would have happened? If a person would have killed Elvis, white people would be out here killing, doing whatever they was doing, if Elvis died. They don't even want to believe he did, like on some Tupac shit. But we let somebody like Michael Jackson get killed and act like it accidentally happened, and we know that that shit wasn't an accident. Everybody knows that Michael Jackson owned half a song. But the fact of what happened to Michael, what happened to Whitney, what happened to all these people with all this beautiful talent and money to help, nobody really, it's just crazy. And nowadays, when people get money, the first thing they say is, man, we all got problems. Don't nobody help or do righteousness like they supposed to. And a lot of people like to celebrate and they like to celebrate while their friends starve. That's some deep shit. You know, to sit there and be able to eat a steak while your brother is pleading for help and starving, and y'all got the history and the love, and you can still sit there and just eat that steak and watch him starve. You're a different type of nigga. You're a different type of person. Like, I know that me and you not nothing alike. You know, I like dudes like, and they like his name, they try to shatter his name, but I really like the boy Big Meech because he was like one of the only people I really seen that he ate and his whole team ate. Besides 50 Cent too, all the G Unit niggas ate. You know what I mean? I seen that Big Meech though. He really specialized in that category, and his run was so long, and so many people ate with him for years. And half the people that been eating with him, a lot of them people ain't go to jail. So that's why I don't really believe like Boy was giving up people because there's plenty of people he could have gave up, and we're not hearing none of that. Now people want to bring up stuff and try to discredit people just for likes, man, just for streaming money, man. That's why I ain't really I do a podcast, but my podcast is on my own time because I don't want none of you niggas to get me confused. Like I don't want y'all to start trying to do podcast games with me or like play games with me and stuff like that because I'm really not the fucking one, man. You know what I mean? And I ain't trying to be tough. I'm just saying I ain't the one, man. You know what I mean? I like if you would do that need a gun that have heart, you don't want to deal with a person like me. Because if I know you that type of person, then I know what type of levels to take it. And I don't want to crash out and fuck my life up over no bum ass niggas. You know what I mean? And niggas will have you do that. Don't get it fucked up. I know a boy that got that'll make you crash out. Like all he do is act like he's thorough for real. Whenever he get a chance, he hate on anybody that's doing better than him, and it's crazy that dudes like him really exist. You know what I mean? And it's crazy that dudes that fuck with him that think that he's thorough don't know that they nuts too, because you willing to swing around in the ambiance of this fucking crumb ass nigga. And you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You was tough as shit until you was in that hospital shaking and all that shit. Like, stop playing with real niggas, man. You gotta stop that, man. Like, you know, people be on some weirdo shit. You know what I mean? When you're a weirdo and you get dealt with, nobody should feel bad about that because you is a fucking weirdo. Yeah, man. That's real shit. Popeye chicken off. Man. But just like Popeye, you ain't mad niggas should be about your chicken. You know what I mean? A lot of you niggas need to have niggas around to just tell you real shit because I know somewhere along the line, if you do a lot of shit that sucker shit, that's not just a thing with you, that's a genetic thing. Your dad was a sucker too. All that's a part of your sucker genetic makeup. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, y'all niggas be suckers. Especially you internet niggas. Like, you niggas will be on the internet and they be thirsty to say something through the internet. You a nut. Like, to me, like, that's some bitch ass shit. You just typing shit to say something through the internet to somebody that's winning or somebody that's doing something. And he be like, nobody cares about you. But you on a page, Dicky, trying to make them feel like nobody care about them. When you could have just went about your way and not ignored it. You felt like you had to go on the internet and say something crazy. That's crumb shit. You niggas really need to get out of that, man. You know what I mean? And for the ones that did make it, stop making the city look bad. Like, you niggas that made it, and now that you done made it, you want to act like your city not worthy, and everybody else is. That's your shit. It's your shit. That's the dicky and shit I be talking about. And that's why the city don't be having a power because these people, they see when y'all doing it. They know when y'all doing it. You know what I mean? That's real shit. They know when y'all doing it. Mm-hmm. Another thing, Philly niggas gotta stop doing. Stop acting like you made it when you just ain't none of us make it. Like motherfuckers is trying to act like they made it. Like Philly, we ain't make it. We all working regular jobs, trying to basically just to make it the middle class. And niggas are stars. They should be up there like Rich eating way more than a lot of New York niggas, a lot of ATL niggas, a lot of Chicago. Like it's just music with substance. Instead, we stuck in the city that won't give us our flowers. That's horrible, man. That's really horrible though. Like that's fucked up. We stuck in a city that even if you hot, they want to kill you for being hot and don't want to give you your flowers for being special. The only way they give you your flowers is if they could get a part of your success. If they can't gain nothing from it, they're like, fuck, that's real shit. When niggas be like, thinking niggas won't, thinking, dog, the world already showed you. When they show you these movies like Passion of Christ and motherfuckers torture Jesus or like prophets, like try to harm people that's blessed by God and trying to do righteousness, and they hurt them. What makes you think a motherfucker give a fuck about you? If you a friend to everybody, you an enemy to yourself. And you know, people will limit you. They'll make you feel like, oh, you can't make it, or oh, you can't win. You know how many niggas hated on me, and I fucked their bitch. There's a lot of niggas right now running around telling they bitch how much I'm a nut ass nigga, and she like don't want to tell you that she was trying to have my baby. Like it don't even work when you a hater and you talking to girls. They just suck a nigga dick harder because they know you a nut. And that's that. I know niggas that have way more than me and still jealous of me. I'm happy for them, but they jealous of me. They jealous of me. I don't even know why. It just is what it is. Whatever God gave me. But that's the only thing they can be hating on. Shit is crazy, man. I notice every time I go at something, or I say something, niggas get an alliance of hating ass niggas and try to take the shine away from me. That's some deep shit, man. It really is. You niggas is amazing. And you niggas is cool with thinking these niggas is still. Oh yeah, man. Niggas just be like, you could be a fan of somebody else, and just because you're a fan of somebody else don't mean you need to hate the other nigga who got talent just because you're a fan of somebody else. That just go to show the mentality of people now. When niggas was sitting there and they was like saying shit like when niggas be sitting there and they be saying shit like, you know, like how can I say it? Uh Meaning like people small minded. Like that's their whole thing, like, you know, and that's the mentality of Philadelphia people. Where they gotta downplay the other person to make themselves feel relevant. That's old school shit, you know what I mean? A nigga like me can see that shit a mile away. Yeah, man. But what can I say, man? It ain't nothing really nobody could do to change the mentality of people. You can only give them the truth and hope they digest it. You're gonna be seeing a whole lot more shit I'm doing, you know what I mean? Man versus the Machine coming. A lot of whole different projects. Shout out to my boy Santana. Me and him got the Brotherhood Project. Shout out to Lil Cuz Santos. Me and him playing on working. Me and Chief Raw playing on working. Me and Joey Jahab playing on working. Me and Quilly playing on working. And you know, Frankie Grippers and you know, a whole slew of veterans and dope ass people that I really believe in, you know what I mean? And you know, shout out to Mike Knox for doing that Philly Unity project, you know what I mean? I think it was well needed, but I think it should have happened a little bit earlier because, you know what I mean, maybe we could have saved some more lives in that time frame, but hey, it did happen, and I heard the party was good. So, congratulations to Mike Knox, man, and everybody that was on that project. That showed some unity in Philly, man, and hopefully people support it, man. To every artist from Philadelphia that got music dropping, you know what I mean, keep doing your thing. Even shout out to Hollow Man for that Uno thing he's doing. I'm not participating in that jump because, you know, I basically wanted to versus thing. But, you know, to everybody that's participating in it, you know, continue on, man, and that's a dope challenge. You know, do it, man. Shout out to my man Chuck Lawless. You know what I mean? Shout out to Freeway, man. Freeway got that single up, you know what I mean? It's called When. If you want to go on the internet, you can check out that Freeway and Freeway joint. You can also see me on Lido's Takeover Files. You can also go on Block Knowledge page and my page, Shelly Anno CEO, and see videos. Websites is up. You know what I mean? Clothing coming, music, merchandise. I'm gonna let everybody know my date of my album release party, a listening party, and I'm gonna be having them all around the city. And I'm gonna be dropping the locations, and you know, y'all show up. Me and my man Tice Combs are also gonna be throwing a lot of new shows up in the county and different places all around the city. Shout out to Tice Town, my boy Tice Combs. You know what I mean? Been my day one since we was kids. Love you, bro, and I appreciate the loyalty. Shout out to my boy Tone from Bantry. You know what I mean? Other part of the foundation, the CEO of BBI, and my other partner, Quay, you know what I mean? You know, my boy Bilal, like these are all people that help, you know what I mean, keep the machine running for me. And and Cuz too, you know, you already know Cuz, I love you, man. And you know, these are all the people that put together the machine, that help oil the machine, and believe in me, man, when nobody else do. So, you know how they say it's less, but it's plenty of us. I like that, you know what I mean, because I don't have a whole bunch of oversaturated fake ass friends around me. I just got real people around me who genuinely want to see me win and believe in my vision. And I'm blessed. And I understand why a lot of you niggas is miserable because you might got 90 people around you, but don't love you as much as one person in my squad. Love me. You know what I mean? So I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I ain't, you know, so people running around acting like, oh, Shell, he like this and he that. I'm living good, nigga. Like, I'm fresh. I smell good. You know what I'm saying? I look good. You know what I mean? I might got some grades, but, you know, law bless me, you know, I smell like this right here. You know what that say? That low low. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's basically the type of time I'm on. Recently through politics, I see we just lost I don't know if he was a governor or a senator, but somebody else is being placed in his position. And I mean, you know, it keeps going on. Like, you know, like it's a lot of stuff going on in politics too, man. And a lot of people passing too, man. I mean, I just really feel like through this little last presidency, gas just shot up. A lot of more people more died. I'm not really seeing the benefits of this presidential run right here, right now. I'm just being honest. It seems like the more and more I turn around, it seems like we're getting closer and closer to the end. And it's like people are pushing to see us get to the end. And I mean, you know, man got to stop taking the world and treating it like it's his playground. We got to start caring about each other. You know, when I was a kid, right, and that might sound funny to y'all, but I used to see those little African babies with them pop bellies sitting in mud and flies on them. And I used to, you know, cheer up about that shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? I used to really look at that and see it and really be like hurt by it. But it's crazy because in this world there's way more brutal shit than that going on. And people are desensitized to it. Like a video game. Like when we show our missiles going over, blowing up women and children for worldly things, and we don't feel nothing about it. It's like, wow. Like, wow. Right now, America, we put our business, our nose in a lot of businesses and all that type of stuff. But whatever's to come to us because of what our leaders do, I only pray that Allah find some type of way to protect us. You know what I mean? I ain't even like, I'm just saying, man, because it's like we always asking for God to protect us, but do we really deserve it? We run around every day living unrighteous. Everybody just running around doing what the fuck they want, living without no religion, living without nothing, making their own ideologies, thinking about how life is and how it should go, and people not caring, and pastors getting locked up for rape, and all this crazy shit, man. Y'all motherfuckers don't really see how fucked up this shit is. People need to stop paying attention to housewives in Atlanta and start seeing what's really going on with the world. But I don't know, man. I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of my thoughts, man, a little theories, and what I've been through in life, and all types, man. Like new project on the way, man. Album release parties coming, merchandise, more podcasts, more videos, more shows, more episodes. Stay tuned, man. It's your boy Shellyano, man, a.k.a. Shell Chapel, a.k.a. your favorite rapper. And I like to say, good night.
No moonwalk, moon talk, I get rid of thugs. Please don't compare me with Quilly and Meek Millie. I got love for them both, but I'm the king of West Philly. Hoodies from Pelargo, fresh pair of cargos. Whenever we hit the city, turn that shit to a car show. I ain't playing with kids, recess is over. Pat myself on the back, I'm the best, it's over. All my boys on bosses, never cross the team. If you do, we light up your block like Billie Jean, you know what I mean? I'm Uncle Paulie, you're the good fellas. Pump the scene, 50 cent hug. Still hood fellas, still stand on the block that I was brought up on. When my boys beat them charters, they was brought up on. This ain't no watered down music that you're caught up on. This is hurricane rap, I'm the called the storm. Said I'm really from the bottom. Hey, coming from the bottom. Hey, they don't want no problem.